You're listening to Mike James Rock Show with Dan and Mike.
Right, it's Dan from the Mike James Rock Show, and I have, like, the best interview people here so far from my career.
Maybe ever.
Well, I mean, please bring them out. I'm excited.
Well, I was going to say that you guys have, like, this is the last night of quite an epic tour between you guys. There's been dragons, there's been twirling. How's it been from your side? I know, obviously, probably quite tired.
My highlight was yesterday having a conversation with Frank as he was planking. It was quite nice. He was letting me know his plan for tonight after the show or whatever, and I was just like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm planking." He had another minute left, so anyway.
I do a 2-minute plank every day. It's good for my back and it's good for my voice. Yeah. I broke my back on stage in 2013. I wouldn't recommend it.
Is that true?
Yeah. Well, I said broke my back. I slipped 2 discs at the same time. One of which no longer exists, and the other one took several surgeries. I jumped off the PA onto the stage at Bonnaroo and it landed and went, "That was a terrible idea." And now I have to do loads of maintenance for my back while I'm on tour. And this is old men talking about touring.
We were literally just in there talking about that. I was just like, well, both my rotator cuffs are all swollen up and inflamed right now. And I'm like, at least my knees are doing all right. And then I started to come down the stairs and I was like, maybe I spoke too soon. I don't know. We'll have to just see how we're doing later. But it's different. You know, like we stretch and it's funny. I remember being a kid and just seeing bands stretch and stuff, and what are they doing? And then I was skinny and I could jump off shit back then, you know. And it's funny, you know, you get older, you have to take care of yourself, don't you?
There's that thing, rock and roll takes its toll and all that, but like people ask, what would you tell your younger self? And I'd say stretch. when I had to go and get all the stuff on my back, the physio I had watched a bunch of footage of me playing live, and he was like, "So what's your stretching and warm-up routine?" And I was like, "How dare you?" Yeah. Like, I'm a punk. I wasn't into sports when I was at school. I don't do stretching. And he's like, "You're an athlete." And I'm like, "How dare you, sir?"
But we're trying to escape here. What are you talking about?
But yeah, it's part of the deal. One of my favorite tour memories actually was, Lucero, man? Yeah, so Ben from Lucero, who's a dear friend of mine, and he's a hard-drinking, country-singing kind of dude. And we were on tour with them in the States a few years ago, and he came into our dressing room, and we had a round of herbal teas, and then everybody on my crew was doing planking on that tour. So there was like 13 people in a circle doing like a 5-minute plank with herbal tea in the middle. And he sort of walked in with a cigarette and a whiskey, and he was like, "I think I'm on a wrong tour."
We had a similar thing happen. The guy that's been promoting our tours since we started coming over to England is now the head of AEG. His name's Steve Homer. And he comes and sees us a couple of times a tour. He was actually there last night. But when he came to our previous tour, he came into the dressing room and yes, everybody was either stretching or sitting there on their phone or whatever. And I had ordered a coffee. And he goes, "It's 5 o'clock. You know, what are you doing having a coffee? What has happened? Are you guys okay?" You know? And he's like, "When do you open a beer?" I'm like, like an hour before the show. What?
Dude, we don't drink before shows. We always used to have a shot before we went on, right? Me and my whole band, it was our ritual. We'd always have a shot before we went on. Then one day we didn't do it because we couldn't find any or something or whatever it was. And we went on and the show was so much better. Like, at least the first 5 songs, it was just like so much more coherent. And we all sort of looked at each other and went, maybe there's a correlation here. You know what I mean? We're not spending the first 5 songs trying to shake off Jameson or whatever.
I have that thing that comedians have, though, where I if I don't have a couple of drinks before I go on stage, I tend to focus on the one person that doesn't look like they're enjoying themselves. And then that's all I can think about. And I'm just zoned in on that. So it's like, I feel like I'm just, I have to kind of take the edge off a little bit.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, I think you're actually making a lot of fans feel better about what we have to do to prepare for your shows as well. Because I did do some stretching whilst I was waiting for your tour manager to, because it was a long drive down,
Right.
Yeah. I mean, well, time keeps rolling on, and that's okay. It's better than the alternative.
That's what I say all the time. It's getting old sucks, but everybody's doing it. But so sometimes people, you get I'm sure you get the thing where some fan will just be like, you'll say, "Oh, this album's 20 years old," and they're just like, "Oh my God, you've gotten so old. What happened to my childhood?" And you're like, "What do you want me to do. Like, I'm kind of glad I'm getting older.
Right. Well, you have two options. You either get older or you stop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm going for option A.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Well, I had it in the download press area this year where somebody came up and went, "Oh, your T-shirt's so like kitchen vintage." I was like, "No, it's actually 22 years old. I wore it to my first download 20 years ago." And they're like, "Oh, we're 20." I was like, "Oh God, I died a little inside."
At the risk of now sounding like the oldest man on the planet, like I'm now at a point. I mean, you're a couple of years older than me, right? Yeah. You're like 23 and I'm 21.
That's right.
True facts.
I'm now old enough to. It's when fashions come back around and become kind of retro or whatever that you remember the first time around, and you want to run in front of the kids, being like, no, this didn't go well last time. It's like the mullet thing.
Yeah.
Like all the kids got mullets again. It's like, but I remember mullets last time,
right.
And then they were an object of mockery for 30 years,
right.
And everybody who had a photo of themselves with a mullet went to enormous lengths to try and delete it from existence because it is objectively the worst haircut in the whole world.
Yeah.
Yes, but I had a mullet so early in the whole thing that it wasn't even called a mullet yet. It was called a bi-level.
A bi-level?
Yeah. It was literally called a bi-level haircut, and I had it very early on. And I've got a lot of photos of it. I'm going to send you a couple.
Please do. I'm going to get to sleep at night somehow.
What's one thing that you don't want to see come back apart from the mullet? Like, for me, it was trousers hanging off the butt. Like, that was never a good look for me.
There's been quite a lot of kind of 90s stuff come back. They're kind of like new metal jeans. I mean, I don't really care. People can wear whatever they want.
I think dudes in spandex doesn't really need to come back, you know?
I think that you and I should bring that back. Tonight.
There's no reason I should bring that back. Yeah.
That's the next tour. He's going to work on you for that. I mean, how did this one come about? Was it just you guys missed each other and thought that spend some time together?
We actually have Australia to thank for this. Because, as Frank says, all bands talk about touring together all the time. That's what you do. You're all friends. And you're like, hey, we've got to get on the road together. And it takes so many things to align to make that happen. And we just happened to be in Australia and at a festival together. And I had said to the promoter, I was like, man, I think it would really work. I had been just to see his set. He had come to see mine. And I was like, man, I think it would really, really work doing these things together. And so they pulled it off. And the timing just so happened to coincide with this thing that we had been working on for a couple of years of doing these, more event type things. I don't know what you call them here, but because it's not really a festival, right?
But event works.
Yeah, it's an event, right?
Outdoor event, I believe, is what the website says.
And I was actually pretty shocked when he was available and wanted to do it with me. So
it came together well. I mean, as Jaret was saying, like it's so easy to say let's do it together, and then nothing ever happens. But I think once we got one on the books, like the second one kind of slotted in pretty easily, and it's been a dream. It's been lovely.
That's a good point. It does happen like that. Once your managers and your agents get into contact and they start to work together, then it makes things in the future much easier.
Yeah,
and sooner or later we'll just amalgamate into one band.
Right, exactly.
Bowling for Bones, I think.
We wanted him to do the States with us, but he got to tour with the dream of all bands that we all want to tour with, the Descendants, and so we had to back burner that idea.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that's not permanent.
No, it's not permanent, but still, just for this, we didn't get to do a world tour, so to speak.
I feel like if you did a track together, that would be a good reason for another tour.
We did one. Sort of.
He did.
Yeah.
He sang on my country record. Actually, he sang on a single that actually did really, really well in Texas. It was charted top 5, and then we had talked about doing a song together for the new album.
This is some classic how bands work thing. Like, they were in the studio, I was on tour, and then bizarrely, the place they were in the studio was exactly between 2 tour dates that I had on a day when we had a day off. Yeah. And it was just like, holy shit, we could actually make this happen. So we got so excited about the fact the logistics worked out that neither of us really did anything about the creative side. So kind of got to the studio, it was like, what are we doing? It's like, I don't know, what are we doing? And it's like, I like to think I added some vibes.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Yeah, if you want to ever see an excited Frank Turner, get him in the console room of a studio, because he is such it's like a kid in a toy store.
Amazing.
He asks about every single piece of gear, and he just, you just love that shit.
I've turned into a gearhead. I'm kind of doing more production as I get older, and I just, nothing excites me more. What's the name of the producer again? Sorry.
His name's Dan Malsh.
Dan Malsh. He had like an OG LA2A, and I was just like,
I don't even know what that is.
Same.
It's a piece of equipment that has 2 knobs on it, which is an excellent amount of knobs. And
2 sitting here right now.
Hey! But it's an absolute classic compressor limiter. Makes everything sound gorgeous, and an original one will set you back about 50 grand.
Amazing.
And it's got 2 knobs.
Yeah,
it's got 2 knobs.
Yeah, it was. But that was cool too. I mean, it was really nice to have him come by. Yeah, you did add vibes. That was. It's kind of nice when your buddies drop by and you're in the studio, and he got to hear a couple of the things getting worked on and stuff like that. Yeah. So
it was also cool. We had the thing I really enjoyed that day, and what's made this tour loads of fun, and Australia as well. There was a crew mind meld.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like we both have long-standing crews who we've worked with for years and who are as much family as anybody else around their projects. And while we were kind of talking about songs and all that kind of thing, there was there was a sort of seance almost, like around a table in the chill out room of just crew people sort of like broadcasting input lists at each other, and it was like, it's gonna be fun.
That's another thing that really benefits you too whenever you do multiple tours together, is once the crew guys start to gel, it becomes they start to work as one. Yeah. And so our two crews are so fast. They're setting up at the same time, and his guys know what to put on when my guys are up, and vice versa. Right? Yeah. So like it just becomes this machine, and they all work really hard for us.
Are you concerned you might take home the wrong member?
Huh?
Are you concerned
I'm not concerned. I'm taking Rob.
Okay, so there is actually plans to take some of his crew with you.
Well, no, Rob's from the band.
Do you know?
Have you been following the daily progression of me fucking with Rob on stage?
Yeah. Yes. I heard it the other night where you go, and the other guy. But
yeah. So okay, I need to explain this. Am I doing this on camera? Yeah. Fuck it.
Okay, let's go for it.
Basically, all it is. So there's one night I was like, I want to dedicate this next song to Jaret and the guys, is what I said. Yeah. And then I felt bad about that, because it's like, there's only 3 of you. Like I can fit 2 more names in. And then it's like, I had a moment before the show of like having because Rob and I are very friendly, you and I are very friendly. Yeah. I love Gary. He's probably the guy I know least in the band, kind of thing. And I was just double checking that I wasn't going to fuck his name up in front of 5,000 people or whatever. So I got on stage and I was like, this song is for Jaret and Gary, and my brain was like, yeah, you fucking nailed it. And then I went, and and I felt, and the thing is, and Rob was there, right? and I felt so awful about it that after the show I went up to him and was like, dude, I am fucking mortified. And he was like, about what? Because he hadn't heard it. So then I explained the whole situation to him, and he was like, dude, that's really sweet of you to care, but like I didn't hear. I don't think anyone gave a fuck. So then he started calling me Phrr, and now every night. Last night I was like, this song is down to Gary and that other little guy, whatever the fuck his name is. So it's good times.
Is he thanking you on like the bowling set as well, and just going, whoever that was playing before us, thank him as well?
What's crazy about this story is that we talk about this all the time. We take his brother's band, Don't Panic. His older brother, Ted, is in a band called Don't Panic. We take them on tour all the time. And Ted will not acknowledge his little brother. Like he'll be on, I mean, just want to say thanks to Jaret for having us out here on this tour. Gary's been awesome. This is a song called blah, blah, blah. and he just will not. And then, I mean, and it's just become this running gag or whatever, where like he comes in and says goodbye to all of us at the end of the tour, just doesn't say anything to Rob, and I'm thinking, and they're very close.
I love it.
It's just this mental block that he has, I think, because his little brother is doing real, real well.
Well, I think that tonight maybe I'll just thank Rob.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Rob and his friends.
Yeah, Rob and those other dudes.
I love the fact that this is an on-stage joke that's literally just for you guys.
Yeah.
And like, most people are going to be like...
There's 5,000 people that be like, what are they
on the last
about?
night of the tour, he's decided there's shade coming for Jaret.
Yeah. To be fair, a lot of the Bowling for Soup show is stuff that people may think is funny, but we're trying to make each other laugh. And so, because if I can make Gary laugh, then because he's been with me since the beginning, right? And we're roommates on the road, so we're never apart.
Amazing.
when I make that guy laugh, then that's a score, right? So I know I've accomplished something there.
Yeah. Well, I think they might just be working for you. I think there's enough career on stage that it might.
Keep it up, buddy. It's going well.
Somebody will notice you soon. What plans do you guys have, like when the like sort of bromance has to end a little bit?
The bromance doesn't have to end.
Never ends. No, never ends. I have a song called "Bromance Never Ends." It's one of mine.
Can you dedicate it to Frank tonight?
That's what I should do tonight. Yeah. We both got, I just found this out, but he's going to start working on new music. We have an album in the can. And that we're going to try and get out by spring next year. We're taking our time on it. We're working with a label for the first time since 2009. We've been DIY since then. And so, I think we found the right partner, and we've got a lot of touring still to do. I just saw the shirt with all of the, how when you see the shirt, and it's like, I go, this is awesome and terrifying, because it's like on the back of the shirt, it has all the rest of our dates in the U.S. for the rest of the year, and it literally looks like Iron Maiden back in the 80s. It's like, what are we doing to ourselves?
I code up the dates for the back end of my website, and it's like I get the itinerary through, and it's like, it's going to take a while. But then that's when I start to really understand the routing, because you're like, Columbus, Detroit, or whatever. I've got. I have some time off after this tour, which is a rarity for me, and I'm planning.
Have you ever taken time off before?
Once or twice, but not for a long time. I mean, this year has been nuts for me so far. And
to be fair, though, when he takes a holiday, he actually takes a holiday. He puts his phone in his bag, right?
Yeah, I try and throw it into the sea if I can. I just, and it's like my last record I did was my 10th record, and like I've had this a couple of times in my career. And I hope I don't sound conceited in saying this, I'm still so happy with that record that it's almost slightly paralyzing. Quite a lot in my career, my favorite records I made has been the one after an album I didn't like that much, because I was annoyed about what went wrong with the previous one. Do you know what I mean? And I had a fucking bee in my bonnet about, like, I've got to prove this. I love Undefeated. I think it's the best record I made. So
I remember chatting to you about it, and it was the most excited you have been for your own music in a while.
Thank you. And so I'm basically. Another record will come. I'm just not going to push it. I want it to emerge as a natural thing. And there's part of me that wants to make a folk record, and there's part of me that wants to make a fucking white soul record, deathcore, whatever. The one other thing that is, I don't know whether I've mentioned this. A few years ago, I did a side project called Eating Before Swimming. Have we ever talked about that? It's the single most unhinged thing I've ever done. Me and my oldest friend, we've known it since we were 3, did a record of kind of industrial noise covers of easy listening songs.
I love that so much.
And what I love about it is that my fan base just went, what? And sort of didn't really take it to their hearts in a way that made me laugh for hours. Anyway, we did a record called Playtime with Christopher and Francis, which is on Spotify, and people can listen to it. But it's sort of horrendously like brutal and awful. There's a version of Teddy Bear's Picnic on there that is designed to make you upset. We both, me and Chris, the guy I do it with, like I say, he's my oldest friend, and since I was 3. We both hate Christmas songs.
Anti-Christmas album?
Well, it's just a Christmas album, but just done in the Eating Before Swimming style. That is under discussion currently. My least favourite song of all time, and I should say this doesn't cover the artist as a whole, but simply having a Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney is a war crime. We have been working on a version that is arguably so much worse that it's better. But people may see. I mean, the thing is, we are very slow moving, so whether or not we get it together for this Christmas, I don't know. But that's the thing in the pipeline.
I think I'm going to have to make this my last question. Would you feature on this album?
Oh my God, that's a fucking brilliant idea.
I guess so, yeah. No, I would do anything with this guy, yeah, for sure, man. I would...
Take the credit. That is a great idea. I'm going to call Chris now.
I love when this happens. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I know you're really busy today.
Yeah, no, thanks for having us.
Proving, again, why you're the most fun people to interview. Because I'm not sure I even said that much, and I've laughed more than the last couple of days.
Mission accomplished.
And good luck tonight.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, thank you.